leave. Yes, I have my St. Patty's green, since I don't know if I'm going to be on for St. Patty's, so bear with me. Okay? Okay. Straight. Okay. There we go. So, be showing anything on this live stream. Okay. See? I might light it up. Anyway. Well, I don't know who to do first. Saget, britney, Gabby Petito, Kanye. I mean, a lot's going down. Let's do Britney first. I hear that her mom, Spears, requested more money and she might be denied. Wow. Doesn't mommy dearest have balls? Her daughter's an adult, so why is she requesting more money from Britney? After what her and her husband fucking did. What? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. Nope, can't cover the light. Oh well, I'll place it. Hot stay. Station, ladies and gentlemen. Things do happen. Let's see what Popcorn Planet. I mean, is it Popcorn Planet says this thing. And don't mind the noise. I'm waiting for a garbage truck.
Welcome to Popcorn Planet.
Hey, it's Doug.
Hey up everyone, it's me, Stas the Alternate, your nerdy alternative. Yes, officially, this is the week for the Stas the Alternate takeover on Popcorn Planet. How are you all doing today? Wow, look at you all just flooding in right now. Freaking awesome, guys.
Okay, let's get to. I don't want to hear stuff, nerd. I came. Come on. Where's the guy who runs Popcorn Planet?
Stream. And if you want to go one step further to support Andy even further, you can press that nice shiny join button and become a Planeteer to.
Garbage Can's here. Yay! Him in the background.
You know what I mean? And she's requesting
And
over $500 million.
Oh my god! To pay for her attorney fees. The hell?
It's got to that amount.
$650,000.
Proper obscene that she is.
The mother absolutely out of her mind.
Like, what the hell, lads? Now,
You don't have any rights to her once you become 18. And now that she's out of conservatorship, she has no right to the to Britney's money now.
This one here. Okay. So,
It says Britney's Spears.
So,
Let me read Britney's text because she probably deleted it by now. The moment I smile and I realize I haven't in a very long time, my mom gets so concerned and says, "You're acting weird. What's wrong with you?" I say, "Hi, my name is Britney Spears. Nice to meet you. Before I go any further, forgive me in advance. I've been 13 years and I'm a little rusty. It was a family business before. It's no longer that anymore. I was born today because I got to smile or get to smile. So thank you for exiting out of my life and finally allowing me to live mine. P.S. There's a lot of S's there. Do I know how mean I sound? Yes. 100 billion percent I do. P.S. Whatever. My dad may have started the conservatorship 13 years ago, but what people don't know is that my mom is the one who gave him the idea. I will never get those years back. She secretly ruined my life. And yes, I call her and Lou out on it. So take your whole I have no idea what's going on attitude and go F yourself. You know exactly what you did. My dad is not smart enough to ever think of a conservatorship. But tonight, I smile.
Here we go. So this is the Instagram in question, right? The moment I smile and I realise I haven't in a very long time, my mum gets so concerned.
It gets cut off a little bit here.
What's wrong with you? I say, hi, my name is Britney Spears. Nice to finally meet you. Before I go any further. But tonight I will smile knowing.
But tonight I will smile knowing I have a new life ahead of me.
I have a new life ahead of me. So that is the Instagram in question, where she's calling out a mum for secretly ruining her life, for being the brains behind the conservatorship in the first place.
And I know which Britney Spears is really because I kicked my mom out too.
Right?
My life too.
So this at the time was when Jamie Spears, Big Jamie, filed documents requesting to immediately terminate the conservatorship.
Exactly.
She then sneaks in and be like, hold on, I'm owed over $600,000. What? She filed a petition for payments, asking for her Britney's estate to pay for the attorney-related expenses due to a lawyer's involvement in Britney's conservatorship.
Her mother has balls.
Finally, Lynn's attorneys say she reached out to them in order to help Britney free herself from what she saw as a very controlling existence. Which, I'm sorry, I'm calling BS on that.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm proper calling BS on all of that. They also claimed they engaged in researching and vetting appropriate qualified expert doctors for Britney in May 2019, and that they advocated for James' removal from the conservatorship. Like, what the hell? Document states that Lynn discussed just joining the conservatorship as an interested party extensively with Britney, and Britney enthusiastically agreed. Yeah, I bet she was an interested freaking party with all the moolah that was going around.
Exactly.
In Britney's direction. Oh no, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. It was all going in freaking Team Tom's pocket, and Lynn was like, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Do you know what? I want a piece of that pie. Let me in on this. She's my daughter too, you know. Oh, this family is infuriating.
Exactly.
So
definitely like my family though. Because it's mainly the same.
Agreed. I'm calling BS and total shade on that. And indeed asked her mother to join in the case in any capacity that would help to end her nightmare and the crisis she was enduring. I don't think Britney ever trusted her mum to be able to say something like that. No way.
No way. No how.
According
no.
to People, Lynn's attorneys at Jones Swanson said that their fees totaled $840,000. But for some reason, they'd be willing to apply a 40% discount and take $504,000 instead. And Lynn's other attorneys at Ginsberg and Bronstein, pronunciation's never best friends, mate, reportedly requested an additional $146,548 in fees.
Were they trying to break her broke?
December court hearing, which happened and went now. But I'm sorry. Why would of a lawyer firm, solicitors, whatever, right, attorneys, like, do you know what? We're going to give you 40% discount. Nearly 50%. We're nearly going to, like, chop ourselves in half and, give you half. You got to pay.
She just wants money. Any money she can get.
What the actual deuce? Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry, but there's some, it might be a conspiracy theory or whatever, there's some kind of shady dealings going on
Exactly.
with that solicitor's firm that turn around and be like, do you know what, we're going to give you 40% discount. Why would they give a 40% discount? That is literally hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
That apparently they've just given away for free. I'm sorry, guys, but if you were in that position, you wouldn't want to be giving hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars away for free, right?
Exactly.
Legal services, pay in freaking full. 100%.
You're taking the lampshade off.
No discount. That is it. This is the price. Do you know what I mean?
Make it brighter in here.
So where this 40% has come from, I'm sorry, I'm calling BS on that. Absolutely BS.
There we go.
Do you know what? What are you guys saying so far in the chat? Do you agree with me? What do you guys think? So let's have a look. See here. I'm sorry, my sound. I'm looking at my sound right now in OBS, and my sound levels are absolutely fine. Okay. Either turn the volume up, or I don't know what else to do. So I'm seeing it in the chat, guys. This has always been my volume levels anyway. I just upped it just that little bit more, right? And it's never been a problem in the past. So there we go. Emily, I love the stars in your background. Oh, thank you. They're not stars, they're actual like LED lights. Yeah, stuck on by sellotape. That's how DIY I am. Just get some white paint the walls white, and then just put some fairy lights up and stick them to wall by sellotape, and then that's it, done and dusted. Onyx Rose, hope all the funding for the Kentwood house has ended, even if the house is totally paid for. I doubt Lynn can keep up with the maintenance and utilities on a huge house like that.
Mm-hmm. That's probably why she needs that money. That's probably why she needs money. It isn't for the lawyer fees, ladies and gentlemen. It's for that house.
Because the whole free ride has gone, as I put in the thumbnail. Britney ATM is freaking closed for business.
Exactly. And Britney's getting tired of it. Now on to Kanye West. Oh, yeah, Kanye.
Welcome to Popcorn
And
Planet.
this
I'm on vacation, but when I see leaked text messages from
that's why we haven't
finally
seen
calling
him.
Kanye West
Okay.
out, you know I gotta make a video. Not only are we getting text messages, but Kanye's just unleashed with videos that are getting deleted. Some have stayed. I'm gonna play with you as much as I can find, thanks to my headline team. And yes, Steph the Alternate will be live later. I'm sure going through this so much, but I couldn't resist reacting to this, guys. Even on vacation, this is unbelievable. So these allegedly came from Pete's friend, and so they're all over now. Here are Skeet's messages to Kanye.
Don't mind me, I have
Yo, it's
skeets.
Skeet. Can you please
Gum.
take a second and calm down? It's 8 a.m. I don't gotta be like this. Kim is literally the best mother I've ever seen. What she does for those kids is amazing, and you are so effing lucky that she's your kid's mom. I've decided I'm not gonna let you treat us this way anymore, and I'm done being quiet. Grow the F up. Oh, you using profanity? Where are you right now? In bed with your wife.
Oh!
Oh my, dude, that's like king status right there. That is like king status right there. Happy to, and then Kanye tries to get him back. Happy to see you're out of the hospital and rehab, as if that's like a knock. Same here. Wonders what those places do when you go get help. You should try it. I'm in LA for the day. If you want to stop being a little internet bitch boy and talk, You don't scare me, bro. Your actions are so scat and embarrassing. It's so sad to watch you ruin your legacy on the daily. You're more than welcome to come to Sunday service. Why don't we meet after Sunday service and Saints game? I'll be at the BHH. We can have food and talk it out in my room, privately, one-on-one, man-to-man. What you are doing to your family is dangerous and going to scar them for life. Please handle these matters privately. Bro, I beg you. You want to see me? Come to Sunday service. Sunday service is Kanye's private church service that he runs, that he then films and can do things with if need be. He's released lots of stuff from Sunday service, so it's like coming to his subscription service, really what it means. Come to my PR events. This isn't public, dude. I'm so glad he said this. This isn't public, dude. I'm not here for pictures and press, which is obviously all you care about. My offer stands. I wish you'd man up for once in your life. Let me help you, man. I struggle with mental health stuff too. It's not an easy journey. You don't have to feel this way anymore. There's no shame in having a little help. You'll be so happy and at peace. You have no idea how nice I've been to you, despite your actions towards me. I've stopped SNL from talking about or making fun of you, which they wanted to do for months. I've stopped comedians from doing bits about you because I don't want the father of my girl's kids to look bad out there. My girl's kids. I have your back even though you treat me like shit because I want everything to be smooth. But if you continue to press me like you have for the past 6 months, I'm gonna stop being nice. Dude, I can't believe Kanye has made me rooting for Pete Davidson. Kanye deserves every moment of this. Yes, there's a knock.
But also, like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, Kim is also at fault at this too. Why is anyone not looking at Kim? I said this in a previous video. She played with men in the past. She married them and then divorced them quickly. This woman is nothing but her looks. She has to stay current. She has to stay in the headlights. She she has to do something to keep herself in the headlights. I mean, the whole show went kaput on E. Why are they rebooting it? It hasn't been that long since the last other Kardashian show. I mean, there's been one other show other than the main one. And then now this one pops up. I mean, Kim needs to step back and be a mom and a businesswoman. Stop being in the public eye. Stop thinking about what can I do next that I can keep myself in the papers. Step back and be a mom. Stop being such a publicity hoe. Okay? My opinion too. Kim. Your sister has enough. Courtney freaking is doing enough with her man dressing like a slut in bikinis that with bottoms that look like freaking string, that tampon strings that's going up her ass and shit. When she's supposed to be a mom to her kid. I mean, it seems to me that these kids are not getting great motherly attention. You know what I'm saying? They're more into being photographed by the tabloids and getting their name out there. They need to step the fuck back. Okay? And like Pete Davidson said, they need to do it in private. Do all this in private. Stop doing it in public. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to get dangerous. It's going to warp a person who's not mentally stable. I'm telling you, Pete Davidson, stop messing with Kanye. Once you stop all communications and he keep, you know what I'm saying? He will get the idea, I will stop. You will cut off communications. I've done with people like this in my own family. Okay? They won't get the idea until You stop communications completely with them. I'm saying, come on, Pete Davidson, please. You're messing. You're not gonna talk reasonably with a person like Kanye. He's apparently not on medication. He's mentally unstable. I mean, you don't mess with someone that's not being medicated and not being watched by a psychiatrist. Because someone like that will either do harm to themselves and harm to other people, or both. And Pete, I would keep your mouth shut. This is supposed to be between Kim and him. Yeah, he's saying shit about you because he's hurt because of what Kim did to him. And you gotta put yourself in Kanye's shoes. Okay? He thought he had a great relationship with this girl. And apparently, Kim being Kim, not being happy after so many years or months or whatever of riding that black guy to the bank, she needs to go with someone else. Just because she met someone else off of another show. Because someone whispered in her ear. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, she's done this before. She has a reputation of bouncing from one man to the next without freaking separating the two first. Okay? I mean, in the past, she was with other guys, and then while still being with that other guy, started dating someone else. I'm sorry. Kim, you deserve this as well. Okay? You deserve the blowback of doing that. Why didn't you talk to Kanye? Say, I'm not happy in this relationship. We need to, get a divorce. I'm sorry, I don't care about you anymore. I'm not seeing anyone else right now. Or let's work on this relationship. But apparently, she has a reputation of not doing that. She's not happy in a relationship. She'll still be with that person, but behind that person's back, she'll go and find the next dick to ride. Do you see where I'm coming from here? And she uses her looks to get that guy. There's nothing in here. I don't believe she's innocent in this. Okay? I don't. Because it takes two to tango in a relationship. If she was unhappy in the relationship, why didn't she talk to Kanye? Okay? Go through couples therapy or something. And if that don't work, then talk amicably with Kanye. Say, Kanye, I can't deal with this right now. We need to use a trial separation. You know what I'm saying? If the trial separation works, then I want the divorce. I want you to sign the divorce. Because it seems like to me, Kanye did not know that Kim was unhappy in the relationship between the two of them. And she balked without talking to him. And then when Kanye found out that she balked for Pete Davidson without telling him that she was unhappy in the relationship, he flipped out. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim is not as innocent as she playing herself to be. Why are people pitying Kim? I pity more the kids than I do Kim and Kanye right now and Pete Davidson. Okay, those kids need to be put in either foster care right now or freaking with someone that can keep those kids protected and out of the limelight until the three parties here can agree to disagree and stay away from each other. Pete Davidson needs to shut the fuck up before he ends up on the losing end. Kanye needs mental help, and Kim needs to stop doing her shit by playing two men against each other. Okay? Because of what? Her beautiful looks. Because she is shallow. I can tell this woman is shallow. And she uses men like Kleenex. Okay? There's nothing there. Maybe she fell for Kanye, but then she also looked at the money factor of marrying Kanye at the time because he was a good rapper, good performer. You know what I'm saying? But then when his mother died, he went over the deep end. And he started slowly losing it. Okay? And she should have done her background to see if Kanye or one of his family members in the long run had mental disabilities or depression or anxiety or something going on before having kids. All right? Because if Kanye definitely has bipolar and all that, the kids will end up having it. Okay? Or one of the kids will end up having it. Okay? It is in the bloodline. Okay? I know my mom's bipolar. I know I'm a functioning depressive person. That I'm dealing with depression on a main daily basis. Okay? But I have people to talk to. It seems like to me, Kanye didn't have. He was so used to talking to his girl about his problems, his girl being Kim, and Kim just got tired of hearing it and left without talking to him. And he needs someone to talk to about his problems and someone to maybe help him medicate himself, put him on like Klonopin or some type of, mood stabilizer or something. No one's going to win in this. No one. And if Pete Davidson really thinks he can go up against a Kanye, who, has a reputation for being a bad boy, Pete, you're going to lose, white boy. He deals with people like Jay-Z and everything, who are big name people, who are, let's say, connected. Okay? I know they're connected because my sister was in the music business with P. Diddy. And let me tell you, I've heard stories, I've seen shit. Let me tell you, Pete Davidson, you do not want to meet face to face in an alley with a Kanye who's mentally unstable, who is connected. Okay? Okay? He may end up going to jail for hurting you. Okay? Seriously hurting you. And Kim will not care about you after the whole shebang goes down. She's going to split to someone else. Saying, I ain't dealing with your shit either, Pete. So, I'm gone. I'm sorry. She's not going to deal with it. She's not going to be with you, Pete, for very long if you keep this shit up and keep it in public. And that's another reason why Kanye is having trouble with her, because she does not know how to communicate with both parties, and having both parties in the same room together with her, with lawyers and shit, and saying, this has got to stop. No, she's thriving on this type of attention Because if you notice, she is not saying one word in public about this. Because she knows it's her fault. No, she's one partially of her fault. Okay? There was no, she didn't put no gag order, no, nothing, no. She's singing in the background, making money off of this. Her and Pete. From the tabloids and shit. I'm telling you right now. And it's ruining Kanye. If he was smart, he'd take her to court for defamation and not being faithful in the relationship. Because apparently she wasn't. Okay? And that would backfire on Kim. Okay? He should have done that. Instead of whining and crying like a bitch. And freaking Pete Davidson freaking saying the shit he's been saying. I mean, it's nice that he wants to get Kanye help. Everyone wants to get Kanye help. But Kanye is way far beyond help unless someone gets him to a therapist or a psychiatrist or something and get him medicated. No one's going to be. I'm telling you. I've dealt with this. And I'm still dealing with it. Till the day my mom dies. I mean, I deal with it on the daily. Okay?
Guys, we're going to get through all this video, but I'm just floored at the patience and how good Skeet is looking in all this. Kanye, man.
Skeet may look good in this because of what he's saying, but who's pushing him to say this shit on Instagram and stuff? Who is he with? Kim.
Take it up. If you don't want to get help from him, get help from somebody, man. He's right. You are sparing your kids. Why do you keep, and as you watch these videos, you're going to see more and more as to why Skeet's way more onto something than I think the rest of us realize. So here's a lot of videos, unraveling videos. There's 4 videos he's already deleted that I have right here that we watch. And then there's one he still has up as of Sunday evening when I taped this late. Well, let's watch this together.
So I called different people I knew, and the best advice I got right now was from Tory Lanez, and he just said to pray and ask for God to speak through me. You know, I got 4 children, and there's so many people who don't have a voice and have the opportunity to be able to speak up and just, God, if it is in your will, you know, touch the people that are currently watching, my children, whatever sleepovers at, wherever they are at, the various nannies that watch all the children, and
prayer to all the nannies, you know.
Exactly. I mean, I'm on
and touch them and
Kanye's
say,
side a little bit here.
please bring my children to Sunday service this morning at 10 a.m.
Don't bring them to hang out with me and have some father-daughter time. No, bring them to my PR church event, please, so I can use them as pawns. I mean, that's how it looks, Kanye. I know it's like an important thing for you, but my God, dude, why don't you have some like one-on-one time instead of constantly showing them off or being there for your big events? Like,
It's
do you have
getting
any
dangerous for the
private time with
kids.
The time you're pushing for is always the PR events, notice.
You know, God, this is out of my hands. It's up to you. This whole conversation of custody, this whole narrative, gaslighting.
That's you, brother.
You know, all of this. It's
No,
like
it's
right now.
everyone's
this is up to
gaslighting each
you.
other.
I thank you for putting me in a position
Do your research, Andy, what gaslighting is.
to
I've
be
been
able to
gaslighted.
make Sunday service and put this online and have my family, you know, be there. My children be there to hear about God, to sing about God, to sing about
Gaslighting is playing one person off another or playing one person's emotion off another to get one's way.
Jesus Christ.
Okay?
For us to be able to have
And making the other
the
person
first
look
right,
bad.
the freedom of speech in America to still talk about God out loud. This morning, God, please You know, there's no reason why these young children, upon their father's request, shouldn't be allowed to come to Sunday service.
They ain't taking them to Sunday service because Kim don't believe in God. Have you noticed every Christmas photo that they put out, anything dealing with God, they don't dress religiously or dress to what we consider seasonal. I mean, in the last couple years, I looked at how the Kardashians dressed for Christmas. Christmas is supposed to be the day when Jesus died. Okay? I mean, I'm a Wiccan pagan, so. But I was raised a Lutheran Protestant, okay? And let me see here. The Kardashians' Christmas pictures. I mean, there was one year where they dressed all in white, and it looks like Chloe has this crown on, like this Greek pagan Norse god crown. I mean, there was one year where they all dressed in red, yeah, but where's the Christmas tree? Okay? It doesn't scream Christmas to me. Then there's one year where they were just in jeans and a white shirt. Then there was another one where they were standing on the stairs. Where's the Christmas tree? And they were. It doesn't. The only green and red I've seen is the green fluff on the black dress that one of them was wearing. No Christmas lights, no Christmas decorations on the stairwell. I mean, it looked like they were going to a funeral. I mean, I'm looking at all these. I mean, there's one and it's cartoony. The Christmas picture that they had with Kanye. I mean, they're not even dressed in Christmas attire. Kanye's in black. The kids are in black. She's the only one in white. I mean, the Christmas trees aren't even really decorated with lights, with stars, with ornaments, with no presents around, like fake presents around. I mean, there's even one where it shows one of the sisters by a dollar sign. I mean, it doesn't scream Christmas on this one. It's back in 2013. I really don't believe that these people believe that they're Christians. I really don't. I mean, seriously. And the only time that you see a Christmas tree or whatever is during when they do their TV show to get publicity. I mean, just to me, their Christmas cards does not scream Christmas. The only time you see Christmas is when they want publicity for their show. Okay? I wouldn't put past them if they're not Christians. I mean, so why would Kim take her kids to Sunday school? Even if it's a PR move or whatever. It would make her look like a better mother if she took her kids to Sunday school, like a regular mom would. But no, she's not. She's not teaching them about God. She's not, you know what I'm saying? And stuff.
At this point, it's going too far. God, please. The boyfriend texts me, antagonizing me, bragging about being in bed with my wife.
He's
I
literally
thought
antagonizing. Yes, he is.
A year and a half I've been dragged, and how she not my wife. She don't have a last name, and now he texting me, talking and bragging about how he's in bed with my wife, and I'm like, well, who's watching my children if he's texting me bragging about being in bed with my wife?
Dude, you've been doing so much to him in videos and memes, calling him skeet. That's him fighting back, dude. So he fights back once, and now it's, oh, I'm the victim. Are you noticing this? Oh, Skeet hit me and said it's my wife. I thought I was Skeet back the name. I thought she wasn't my wife.
He's always been playing the victim here.
Yeah, dude, you've been on him like crazy.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because he's trying to fight for his wife back.
And I thought this wasn't my wife no more legally, since I got the, I got the lawyer to finally finish the divorce, because every time I finish the show, the Free Hoover show, the next day she dropping her last night. Every time I do something positive, it's some negative that's coming.
Exactly.
I go and get the laptop from negative. Then she joking about divorce. I go and get the lawyer, change the lawyer so we can finally do the divorce, and then somehow I'm the one that's the stalker.
He just also, I noticed there, I changed the lawyer so we could finally do the divorce. He's seemingly throwing a friend of the show, Christopher Melcher, on the bus. I don't believe for a second. You guys know Christopher Melcher. You've been seen on the show. And I've never talked about this, speaking on my own accord here. I don't believe for a second Christopher Melcher, the lovely, talented, beautiful soul, nice person Christopher Melcher, was demanding that Kanye have to get a divorce and be the vicious one. Do you? You've seen him on this show plenty. Do you feel like he's the one who was telling Kanye, no, Kanye, you can't back off on the divorce now? So it seems clear to me, my speculation is correct. Kanye was blaming the divorce lawyer so he could say, see, Cam was the divorce lawyer. It wasn't me. I mean, who can't see through these shenanigans, Kanye? You're so full of it.
God, I just need to protect my children. You protect the children. I know our nannies, some of them are Christian. You touch them, please, God, today, and have them bring my children to Sunday service this morning. The devil ain't gonna win. You get what I'm saying? This is gaslighting. Kim gets black people out of prison. You know who puts black people in prison? The person that the boyfriend has a tattoo of, Hillary. You understand the setup right here? You understand the narrative right here? God, please,
indeed, people should be listening
your
to
son's name, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Please make sure my kids come to Sunday service. Please.
He
Amen.
just wants to be a good father.
Is it just me, or are you catching him threatening God too? Is he now holding and harassing God? Instead of just Kim and Pete Skeet, now it's also God's on the list. Yo, God, you better give me this. Kanye needs a reality check right now. He's gotten everything his whole life. Anything he wants, it's always been delivered to him. But
and
the
so has
problem is,
Kim.
when you're a divorced dad, which I am. Many of you divorced dads watching or divorced moms, you have to deal with the fact that now you lost half your time, at least. That's just how it goes. You don't get to demand anything. You don't. The mother has equal rights as you do. Now, I don't know what's going on there, but Kanye calling up like, yo, bring them here? No, you don't. It doesn't work that way unless it's in some sort of deal. Like, the kids have their own plans. They're older.
And I don't
Moms have their own plans. There's a life.
Kim's going to do any of this.
Doing whatever in multiple states and albums. And
unless it's in a contract.
It's way more complicated.
Which I don't think it's right, because she should be teaching them about God.
Oh my God! All right.
But she's not,
So when we had
because
the
she
Donda 2
is not a Christian. I'm telling you right now, Kim and that family is not Christian.
Because it's a tattoo, and then oh my God, this man needs something. This man's off his rocker.
Go to that game.
I want her to see the league her dad started. I just want to gloat and show her all the famous rich things up to her. Not like, hey, let's go draw or go do something creatively together. Or like, like go for a walk in the park. I want her to come to Sunday service. I want her to come to my league game. I want her to go to the Super Bowl.
Now we got Sunday service this morning at 10 a.m. and it's North had a sleepover, so she can't come to Sunday service.
Okay, maybe she's with her friends too. Maybe it was a party that she's really excited to be at. So maybe she can't make it in time. That happens. Welcome to parenting.
I moved the Sunday service up to 10 a.m. so that I can go to Saint soccer game at 12:30. Move the entire thing.
Yeah, even he at that point turns it off. Even at that point, he realizes like, why are you posting this? You're now posting like your divorce schedule. Like, yeah, welcome to real life, man. You haven't been there in a while, have you? We all got to deal with this shit. Divorced parents got to deal with this shit on the daily. And yeah, I gotta move my big Sunday service to get to the soccer game, to get to a big basketball. Like, yeah, hello. So I boo Kanye.
Hey everybody, I just got off the phone with Kim. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said,
okay, so now we're back on the TikTok thing, which was the one thing I was sort of on board with, but now I'm on Kim's side, 100% on everything. You just got off the phone with her, and now you're going on Instagram to tell us. Like, I even feel weird playing this. I honestly,
people need to know what's going on because Kim can be
do. He's a huge celebrity.
There's no way with Kanye thinks
it is never
her be
again.
slick on anything.
I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said, I'm not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so.
Now, he does.
Yes, he
Disney
does.
Owns the new show, Kardashians on Hulu, and I'm sure the kids are on it. And Kanye absolutely
has every right to say, fuck no.
100% agree with
He
Marco.
wants to protect
Also,
his
stuff's making
kids
him look crazy
from the
and
publicity.
unhinged, and that's what's the problem. He should have kept this legally, kept it privately. All this isn't helping.
And then when people say, "Oh, they're going to use this for you in court," I didn't have a say so on whether or not they went to Sierra Canyon. Most men do not. There's no such thing as 50-50 custody with in society today. That's not even. It always leans towards the mom.
Mostly it depends where you live, Kanye, but he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong there.
But right now, and I'm happy that you guys got to see just a small piece of what I dealt with. You understand what I'm saying?
Not really, but I'll pretend like I do. There's so many more clips he goes through. In fact, I kind of want to send it there. There's more, and we'll watch him over with Steph. He had a whole new. He's going after the guy who apparently leaked the photos. I don't even know what's going on here. It's another 6 minutes of videos where he goes off and justifies this. I'm going to have Steph the alternate break the rest of these down tomorrow. I want to keep the video contained to those ski tech.
I mean, they're both all. I mean, this is a mess. It's a mess. It really is. And I understand where he's coming from, where he doesn't want his kids in the public because he's afraid of stalkers and scary paparazzi screwing with these kids' minds and stuff like that. He wants to make sure that they're okay. And I understand where he's coming from. You know? He's being a parent. Let's see here. Now, let's get on to Gabby Petito. The family suing the Laundries. Oh my God. We all knew the Laundries knew about Gabby Petito before. I mean, we named it from the beginning, saying that Petito knew what was going on. They've seen evidence, and now they're taking them to court. I hope everything comes out. I mean, I really do. And I hope the Laundries, because I wonder where Brian learned all this shit when he was supposedly alive. I mean, to me, I'm just a lot of things just when it comes to the Laundries. I wouldn't trust the Laundries from the mother to the father to any of the family members. I mean, I don't believe any one of the Laundrie family. From the uncle to the mother. I'm sorry, something's shifty about this family. And if it's proven fact that the Laundries knew and didn't tell the truth and everything about certain things, and and it is kind of funny that he killed himself with his non-dominant hand. Okay, so which tells me he had someone kill him. Okay, it made it look like he did it himself. So the Potato family does have every right to sue the Laundries, and because we all knew that they were hiding Brian before he died. Hi, Reba. How you doing? I mean, just a lot of going on. Let me see. Oh, it's spelled wrong. Petptato. Let's see here. News. Let's see. Potato family lost their laundress. Knew Brian killed Gabby. Tried helping him flee the U.S. Believe me, he wouldn't be able to do that even if he tried, because the neighbors would have fucking said something. Because from what I've seen in videos, the neighbors did not like the Laundries. Okay? I want to know what's gonna go down. Let's see. Let me find one that's not a tabloid. You know? Let's see. Fox News here. Let's see. Gab. Oh, I hate pop-ups. I'm good. Doing a little better than I kicked a lot of negative people out of my life, but I'm good. I'm happier now. I'm not stressed out like I was in the past. Let's hear what Fox News says here. No, I don't want to hear about President Biden. I don't want to get political. Let's see here. Let's see what it says. Listen to article.
Gabby Petito update. Parents file lawsuit against Laundrie family. Gabby Petito's parents have filed a civil lawsuit in Florida alleging that Brian Laundrie's parents, Chris and Roberta Laundrie, were aware that their son killed their daughter and attempted to help him flee justice. Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie exhibited.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I just did Britney and Kanye before you came in. Now I'm doing Gabby. And then I'm also gonna talk about Britney. Gonna talk about Bob Saget after this. Because there's a lot of news coming out with Bob Saget too. So let me just play this little clip.
That extreme and outrageous conduct, which constitutes behavior, under the circumstances, which goes beyond all possible bounds of decency and is regarded as shocking, atrocious, and utterly intolerable in a civilized community, the lawsuit alleges. As a direct and proximate result of the willfulness and maliciousness of Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt had been caused to suffer pain and suffering, mental anguish, inconvenience, loss of capacity for enjoyment of life experienced in the past and to be experienced in the future. In early July, Petito, 22, and Laundrie, 23, left New York on a cross-country road trip in Petito's white Ford Transit van. They made it as far as Jackson, Wyoming by late August. By September 1st, Laundrie pulled into his parents' driveway in Northport, Florida, driving her van with Petito nowhere to be found. It is believed that on August 27, 2021, Brian Laundrie murdered Gabrielle Petito. The civil complaint reads, Laundrie then sent phony text messages between his cell and Petito's in an effort to hide the fact that she was dead, according to court documents and the FBI. The complaint alleges that Laundrie confessed to his parents on August 28th and that the Laundries hired lawyer Steve Bertolino, a longtime friend, on September 2nd. Bertolino told Fox News Digital Friday he has represented the Laundrie family for many years and called the civil lawsuit baseless. As I have maintained over the last several months, the Laundries have not publicly commented in my direction, which is their right under the law, he said. Assuming everything the Pettitos allege in their lawsuit is true, which we deny, this lawsuit does not change the fact that the Laundries had no obligation to speak to law enforcement or any third party, including the Petito family. This fundamental legal principle renders the Petitos' claims to be baseless under the law. After Laundrie returned to his parents' home on September 1st, the family said nothing publicly about Petito's death. The family went camping at Fort DeSoto Park, south of St. Petersburg, between September 6th and 8th. Petito's mother reported her missing to police in her New York hometown on September 11th. That was a day after Roberta Laundrie allegedly blocked Nicole Schmidt, Petito's mother, on her phone and on Facebook, according to the lawsuit. There were multiple conversations between Brian, his parents, and their lawyer Stephen Bertolino before Brian left Wyoming on August 30th, 2021, Petito family attorney Richard Stafford told Fox News Friday. Christopher and Roberta had multiple opportunities to disclose to Joe, Nicole, or the authorities that Gabby was no longer alive and to direct them to her body. He added that the Laundrie parents must be held accountable.
Exactly.
A normal mother and father would, after having the girl living with them for that length of time, would obviously ask the question,
Where is she?
Said John Kelly, a criminal profiler who has been following the case. And that's where it gets real weird. Would he tell them that he killed her? Would he tell them that something happened to her? Would he tell them that she ran off? The lawsuit also alleges that during this time, the parents were attempting to arrange a way for their son to flee the country. He left their home in the days following the missing person report and was ultimately found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in a swampy park nearby in late October. Fox News Digital was the only media present in the reserve with Laundrie's parents and 2 members of law enforcement at the time. His body had been there for weeks after floodwaters complicated a massive FBI-led search. In his final words, Laundrie admitted to killing his former fiancée, Petito, in a remote Wyoming campground, according to the FBI, based on entries investigators found in the notebook recovered near his skeletal remains in a Florida swamp in October. They did not describe the contents of the notebook until 3 months later. The FBI also at the time announced previously undisclosed details about her death, which a Wyoming medical examiner ruled a homicide by manual strangulation last fall. She had suffered blunt force trauma to the head and neck. Court documents show the Petito and Schmidt families are seeking more than $100,000 in damages for alleged negligence, pain, and suffering. They are demanding a jury trial. Fox News' Laura Ingle, Heather Lacey, and Sarah Rumpf contributed to this report.
I mean, there's even a document on here which is the complainant in the circuit of the 12th Judicial Circuit in and for Sarasota County, Florida. Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt versus Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie. Come on now. Joseph and Petito, and Nicole Schmidt, by and through their undersigned counsel and file the within complaint against the defendants Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, and all in support of thereof alleged as follows. This is that they want $30,000 or whatever for prejudgment interest, costs, and attorney fees. Venue is proper to Sarasota, Florida, because of defendants reside therein. They want $86,100 and $26,1200. The plaintiff, I mean, you can read it on Fox News about they show the paperwork of the filing. I mean, it's information concerning their daughter, saying Chris and Roberta were keeping their whereabouts of Brian secret, and it is believed that they were making arrangements for him to leave the country. Which we all had the speculation of that during the whole murder thing. Okay? And yes, YouTube, I said murder. You're not stopping me from my freedom of speech. Oh yeah, I know, Reba. I know. It was obvious that he was hiding them. And then on top of it, the way Brian died, saying that he was dominant right hand, but yet he shot himself with his left hand? No, he had someone shoot him in his temple and make it look like a suicide. But the person was dumb enough to put the gun in his left hand instead of his dominant right hand. Okay? That's what gets me there. Something fishy about the laundry from the get-go. I'm sorry. And then the autopsy who identified Brian Laundrie's body was a relative of the Laundries. Makes you question, doesn't it? If Brian is... Ooh, got something in my eye. Was actually dead or alive. I'm still questioning it now because of the fact that the Laundries are not as honest with the law and this investigation as they should be. Okay? From what I've seen. They hid Brian for a real long time. And if it's proven that they were hiding, like we all been thinking, they should face the piper. You know, face their crime. If they were hiding a criminal, they need to pay, the piper. If they were in on this and knew what was going on and did not go and tell the cops and help the investigation, they need to pay the piper as much as Brian Laundrie would have. Takes two to tango. If Brian said anything, they should have went straight to the cops instead of saying, we don't know anything. Trying to... I'm sorry, something like that would be misleading and stuff, and that would send a normal person to jail. Because look at what happened with Casey Anthony. She led them down a primrose path, and she got off scot-free when a normal person would have been jailed for shit like that. It's all happened in Florida. These Florida cops are not, from what I understand, since I lived down in Florida for 3 months in my life before my daughter was born, they are shifty cops down there. They're racist cops. Let's just say they're not trained well down there when it comes to real law enforcement. Okay? They're the types that will, if they get bribed, and they don't say shit. Okay? They don't do the jobs well. Okay? I know for a fact. Okay? It's racist as hell down in Florida. I know for a fact it is. Because I was pregnant before Cindy. And I tried to get a job at a McDonald's or Burger King or whatever. Because they were looking for someone. And they told me, straight out, there's 2 reasons we wouldn't hire you. 1, you're heavily pregnant. 2, you're living with Hispanic people. And I can't believe this woman who was the manager told me this. And it was coming straight from a white person who was the manager. I'm like, would have hired you right on the spot. I would have worked with you with your pregnancy, but you came in with Hispanics. And I'm like, really? I could get you in trouble for being racist, for being biased. If I would have not came in with my daughter's family, daughter's father's family, I would have been hired. Not a little racist? I'm sorry, I don't trust Florida cops. I'm sorry. There's a lot of racism down there. There's a lot of bullshit down in Florida. Okay? When it comes to cops. Okay? I don't believe the cops are all judicial, let's just say. I mean, certain things should have been done by having not someone who's a corner in the freaking laundry family autopsy the body and identify the body. They should have had someone out of the case matter who's not related to the deceased identify the body by fingerprints, by DNA, by, you know what I'm saying? There's other ways around identifying a body. Dental records. I'm sorry, there's some, I mean, if I was the cops and I knew that the person they went to for dentistry or someone that's not related, that's related to the family, I would have went in a whole different route to identify a body. Okay? Would have found Brian Laundrie's friends or fingerprints, blood, have all the family DNA, the body. You know what I'm saying? Do something where you know for a fact that this guy is dead without no suspicion. Just something about this family. I mean, right down to the mother and father. The entire family is shifting. Okay? I don't trust that side of the family. I'm sorry, I don't. I mean, now back to Britney. I'm sorry, but I have to go back to Britney. I found another thing out saying leaked emails or something.
I'm Andy Signor, and today I want to ask the question, who is Michael Caine? And no, I'm not talking about beloved actor Michael Caine. No, I'm talking about Britney Spears' new business manager, Michael Caine. I know a lot of people in the Free Britney movement are skeptical of this guy. They're worried because he was seemingly brought in November 2020 by Jamie, which is obviously a red flag.
Yeah, definitely
he also was Michael Jackson's business manager during This Is It tour.
And that, you seen what happened with that. How it was all messy and stuff like that. And Michael didn't even want to do This Is It tour and stuff.
A lot of fans were speculating, oh gosh, no, Jamie's bringing this guy in. He's the one who forced MJ to perform all those days while he died. Look, a lot of people had all this concern. Was it justified? And then there was this email that came out that was shared by the Free Britney camp. Me and her three shared it. This is the guy who's hired to replace Lou, was hired as Michael Jackson's business manager shortly before his death. Screenshots from an exchange between him and MJ's team. 5 days. Is this Lou 2.0? And this was the email question that sent a lot of people, in a tizzy. To Randy Phillips, who's the AEG promoter, who was putting on the tour.
And I wouldn't trust AEG
speech
verbatim here.
Now, a lot of people saw this and they got worried.
Would a financial comment
it seemed like the business manager was trying to crack the whip. Speech
help or add to his
the bone, which then obviously.
And there's a thing by Kenny Ortega.
Assumed. Well, I got Michael Caine to email me a response to this. Yeah, that's right. I got it right here, guys. I got Michael Caine on the record, exclusive statement only here on Popcorn Planet.
Let's see what it said on there. I seen Randy Ortega there.
Help or add to his pressure.
It could. Randy Ortega could quit.
Justifiably so. It seemed like the business manager was trying to.
What was going on here? She was sent to rehab where she felt like she was going to die. She's now was under AEG. This guy who worked with Michael at the time of his goddamn comeback crap, same guy that Britney's had contact with, and there was also Randy Ortega there too. Are they playing out the same thing with Britney that they did with Michael? By working a big name celebrity till they died. Same people, almost the same people, are involved with Britney that was involved with Michael. And Michael's dead now. And Britney said that she was feeling like she was going to die with these people. Can I say motive? Or reputation here or whatever?
Crack the whip to the concert promoter, like, work him to the bone, which then obviously must have sent him to his death. That's what a lot of people assumed. Well, I got Michael Caine to email me a response to this. Yeah, that's right. I got it right here, guys. I got Michael Caine on the record, exclusive statement only here on Popcorn Planet, breaking down this quote. Now, how did this happen? Before I even get to the quote, let me break this down. Full disclosure, full transparency. I did not talk to him about Britney Spears. It was very clear that's not what he was able to talk about. I get it. Matthew Rosengart is Britney Spears' lawyer, and he's the person who speaks for Britney. So I'm not pushing for that. I didn't want to cross any lines there. Honestly, when I got this email from Michael Caine, I was a little nervous at first. I thought, oh my God, am I getting sued? What's going on here? But he reached out to me because he had seen the Michael Jackson video I did where I declared that I think Michael Jackson is innocent. And I went out against filmmaker Dan Reed, who made Leaving Neverland, which I firmly believe was a hit piece.
Definitely.
It's not a documentary at all. It's really unfair, and I think he's been caught in a numerous bunch of lies. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Andy, you're talking crazy Michael Jackson. Look, I completely disagree. I've gone down the wormhole. There's so much there. I've talked to Taj, and he's helped me see a lot more information. If you want to learn more about my take on Michael, I'm going to put an iCard there in the top right. You can go watch that video. I'll put it at the end as well. But
I'm a big
because
fan
of this video, Michael Caine, John Branca, they reached out. They were impressed by the coverage. They thought I did a good job. Thank you. It's really cool. Scary and cool to know that these people are all watching, because these are some powerful people. But I was like, of course I'd like to have a call and talk. And they basically just, offered to let me know to reach out, that if I ever had any questions and if they could answer them, they would, regarding Michael. But also very clearly, I can't speak about any other artists. In fact, that was the first thing he said in the email, only willing to provide limited responses on the MJ matter, and I will have no comments whatsoever about any other artists that I represent. Clearly, he's talking about Britney there. Now, who is Michael Caine? Before we can read this statement, because it's a long one, you can see him on his website at Miller Kaplan. This was very easy to find. I've seen some people sort of try to say, oh, we can't find a phone. It was right there. His business, this is the public website, breaks down that he's a tax guy. He actually worked for the IRS back in a few years ago, etc. You can learn a lot, but 25 years exposure to high level, complex, international compliance. Look, clearly this guy knows what he's doing with books. And he did work for Michael Jackson's estate. I don't know how long, but it does seem he did as well before the This Is It tour, that they had a relationship prior. So I thought, look, we got this statement. I can't really get him to talk about Britney, understandably. I'm not going to try to ruin that contact. I'd like to keep this contact going. I'd like to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. And honestly, I applaud the transparency and actually reaching out in the first place. It's the first good step I've seen.
Exactly.
Please, hopefully we can continue a dialogue and get some information from him as he's able to deliver. All these people and actually treat us as equals. What a thought, right? Luke Taylor's not out there offering
to do this.
Immediately trying to knock this guy. But first, let's go through this exclusive quote here. It's a long one. There's 3 screens here. Let me do my best to read through it all.
And he mentions Randy Phillips. Isn't that a name that every Jackson fan knows? Randy Phillips. He's one of many people who is part of the Michael Jackson estate. Regarding my June 20th email to Randy Phillips, aka the Financial Coming to Jesus speech. My comments are set forth below. Most of my responses herein will be similar in nature to the testimony that I gave under oath at the IRS versus estate of Michael Jackson trial. My obligation as Michael's business manager was not to tell Michael what he wanted to hear, but rather what Michael needed to hear. Put into context, the quote you were asking about was sent shortly before we were scheduled to open his tour in London. What was not known to the public at the time, but became quite clear and public during the IRS trial was that prior to Michael's passing, he was basically insolvent. With respect to the tour, we presented ample evidence to the court demonstrating that Michael, let me see here.
Here's my...
Come on.
Immediately...
Let's see here. Michael had already borrowed more than $34 million from AEG against the anticipated profits, if any, from the tour. Moreover, Michael had additional non-tour related debt exceeding $400 million. Bear in mind that we had not yet incurred all the expenses associated with a tour of this magnitude, especially given it was to occur in a foreign country. Accordingly, significant additional expenditures were anticipated. Michael Caine says continue. Okay, here we go.
Michael rehearsed.
I left Michael rehearsing at the Staples Center about 11:30 p.m. the night of June 24th, and one of the last exchanges Michael and I had was me saying to him, "I'll see you tomorrow," and replied coyly that I should stick around and watch him rehearse so he could show me how the money was being spent. The next day, we all learned the horrific news that the greatest entertainer ever had passed away. I was fortunate to have watched the rehearsal many times, and to this day, I'm still sad that the world didn't get to see the show. It was amazing. If you hadn't done so already, I highly recommend seeing This Is It, the movie. Hope that clears it up, as I will make no further comment. Regards, Michael Caine.
At the Staples Center about 11:30 p.m. the night of June 24th.
And there's this email, this comment. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me, John Bracca. Another name dealing with Michael. and Jonathan Steinsphere the other day. As we discussed, I am only willing to provide limited responses to the MJ matter, and I will have no comments whatsoever about any other artists that I represent. In terms of your specific question regarding my June 20th email to Randy Phillips, aka the Financial Jesus, let's see, are fourth below. Most of my responses herein will similar to the nature of the testimony I gave. Comment required, but Michael remained steadfast in his unwillingness to sacrifice his art in favor of budgets, so we remained at a crossroads. Hence, my comment about a financial coming to Jesus speech. The financial comments relative to the existing spending were a grave concern to me, and the rest of the financial advisors. The financial coming to Jesus quote was simply an offhanded comment made early on a Saturday morning from me to Randy. We were all working around the clock, and as I had known Randy for several years, it was sent informally and privately, I thought, in the spirit of the grave reality associated with the financial financial position Michael was in at the time. I left Michael at the Staples Center, blah, blah, blah. And then...
From. I can. If I'm looking at this objectively, no disrespect to Michael, he was in massive debt. He was doing this concert. He needed to do this concert. It seemed like he wanted to do this concert. And the real villain in the story of Michael Jackson was the doctor, Conrad. Like, guy was a murderer.
Yeah.
And he was.
And so were some of the people at the AEG.
That's what did
because they weren't paying attention to his health.
I'm sure none of it helped. But I don't know. I don't see any proof that these people.
He would have went on if people would have just paid attention to his health.
Michael Caine, in his own words, was saying, look, this was a very grave situation, and we needed to have a coming to Jesus conversation on the finances of the fact that we can't keep dicking around. Honestly, I'd want my accountant to speak to me that way too if my finances were that not put together.
Exactly.
You don't want an accountant who's going to lie to you and tell you, oh, yeah, great. And then, well, where's the money going?
Exactly.
Sometimes being an accountant sucks, I imagine.
And I love the fact that Michael
hard news,
freaking came to this guy and said, wait, watch me perform, rehearse a couple more, and then I want to know where my money's going. Michael was not dumb. He wanted to know what was going on with his money because apparently no one else was telling him what was going on with his financial, he was going to him.
They don't have the finances they think they do. So say what you will about him. I appreciate that he gave us this quote. I think it's very nice to see this. So I applaud him in that regard of, great, he's talking to us. And I don't even just want to focus on me. Great that we got this exclusive quote, but Mr. Caine, thank you for speaking out and helping offer some clarity about this. I think we all react better.
Yeah, thank you, Michael Caine, for actually talking to the fans of Michael
powerful people.
Explaining what was going on at the time.
Now, knowing all this and sort of figuring out, well, what about the fact, Andy? What about the fact that Britney was upset because Jamie picked him? Okay, valid. Totally red flag city. I'm with you. However, let's not forget, who's in charge now? Matthew Rosengart. Do you trust him? I do. It seems like from everything we've seen with Britney.
Yeah, I trust Matt.
Now,
he got her out of it.
All these guys in Hollywood maybe look out for themselves a little bit in addition. And do they want to get paid? Of course. It's all of its business dealings. But do I believe Matthew Rosengart's doing anything shady right now? No. See no evidence of that. I think he's got his best interests. I think, yeah, he's probably going to get paid at some point. Yeah, he might have some involvement in some of her deals. I got no problems with that. When you see how happy she is next to him,
Exactly. You see the smile. I mean,
and,
I love
she's now
seeing
free
her
to
smile.
do what she wants with a lot of plans coming on her terms.
She was not smiling with all these other people.
And the reality is, he's kept Michael Caine. So I can only assume someone like Rosengard has done his homework on this guy to ensure that he's not going to look stupid hiring somebody else who's going to be as bad as Lou Taylor.
Exactly.
Just because Jamie hired him doesn't mean he wasn't good and means that his allegiance was to Jamie. Look, I'm sure Michael Caine's allegiance is to the money. So, of course, that's what an accountant should be, to their client's money. All right, how do we make sure we get them more money? That gets everybody paid more. It's always going to be the intent. Now, obviously, doing that.
I mean, I still question everyone involved when it comes to Michael and his death. I still question it because of the fact that the same people that was involved in Michael's death, AG, Michael Caine, and the people that got a hold of Michael's estate is now dealing with Britney. And Britney saying that she was feeling like she was going to die. And being overworked and stuff like that. And AEG has a reputation of overworking their celebrity performers. Okay? I mean, it's just... Oh, look at that. Someone actually got a picture right before he died of Bob Saget. Now that this is the Bob Saget.
One of the main questions everyone was asking is why didn't Bob Saget stay in Jacksonville, Florida that night?
Exactly.
As most of you all probably already know, Bob Saget had his last stand-up set in Jacksonville, but instead of staying in Jacksonville, he chose to travel late at night at that, all the way to Orlando, over an hour and a half away to the Ritz-Carlton in Orlando. So people have been wondering, why didn't he just stay in Jacksonville? Especially because it was so late. And then there was also a lot of people wondering, is there a possibility that somewhere along the way, Bob Saget sustained these injuries? Meaning that on the trip from Jacksonville to Orlando, did Bob Saget hit his head, get in some type of little car accident or something, and sustain these injuries along the way?
Exactly.
And I have been firm in my belief that that is not the case. Because judging by the extent of his injuries, there is no way possible that he would have been able to operate a vehicle, let alone drive over an hour and a half away on the highway. I just don't think that is possible. Looking at the amount of damage that was done to the back of his head, I just don't think it was possible that he would operate a vehicle for an hour and a half, even 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I don't think he would have made it out of a driveway with the amount of damage that he had to the back of his head, let alone, drive all the way to Orlando, Florida.
Exactly.
So I've been firm in my belief that whatever happened to Bob Saget had to have happened to him at the hotel. But there was no evidence to confirm that. Let's just say that, because as far as we know, we didn't really get a good look at Bob Saget, although we did know that once he got back to the hotel room that he was active on social media. He did talk to a few people. So that let us know right there that he was at least, somewhat okay, especially to post his big social media post. So all of that led me to believe that something had to have happened to him at the hotel. But now I think we got confirmation that whatever happened to him at the hotel, because it appears that Bob Saget was actually seen smiling hours before his death in a final photo that he took with a fan outside of the Ritz.
If you want to see this photo and stuff, go to Cinema Shogun. Cinema SHOGUN. Cinema Shogun or Shogun.
Carlton. Bob Saget appeared to be in good spirits just hours before his unexpected death at the Orlando Ritz-Carlton in January, according to a fan photo taken outside of the hotel. Hotel valet Orlando Nunez, his name's Orlando and he lives in Orlando, but Hotel valet Orlando Nunez says he met the Full House actor as he returned from a gig over 2 hours away. So actually check that, it wasn't over an hour and a half away, over 2 hours away. Nunez asked for a photo, and despite the late hour, Saget obliged. So Saget in this photo looks like he is perfectly fine to me, although be it he's probably kind of tired, he's been working all day. This had to be, pretty late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I would assume, something around there. So he looks kind of tired, but you can tell, he doesn't have the bruising under the eyes. This isn't a guy who has life-threatening injuries to his skull. You can obviously tell that, and
you can tell by the photo. There's no black and blues, no nothing on his face. He looks tired,
but it being late, he was willing to talk to this guy and take a photo with him. After snapping the pic, the pair spoke for a few minutes before Saget made his way to his room and Nunez parked his car. Nunez says that the stand-up comedian had no visible injuries during their meeting and that his car was in good shape, ruling out any possibilities of a car accident.
Something
happened.
After
Orlando
Nunez
hit his head on the steering wheel
and when they found
the seat, I don't know. That's ruled out. No car accident, no visible damages to his car. And not only did he take a picture with this guy, he talked to him for a few minutes, and he seemed to be not only in good spirits, but he was talking. There was no slurring of words. He seemed like he was fully aware of everything that was going on. So there was no signs that he
happened in that
was
hotel.
injured in any way. He was just a perfectly healthy Bob Saget at the time. I didn't see any injuries. He didn't seem hurt. He wasn't slurring his words. He was exactly as I remembered while watching him on the TV as a child, Nunez told authorities. Isn't that crazy? So like I just stated, no slurring of his words. He was perfectly alert. He was nice, and from the way Nunez described him, he was just as how he watched him on TV as a child. Now, isn't that a nice experience? Because a lot of times celebrities are assholes when you meet them, and at least he had a good experience. I would think that Bob Saget would be happy that one of the last experiences that a fan had with him was described as, it was just like when I used to watch him on TV as a child. So I think that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the photo also suggests that Saget had no bruising upon his arrival. Although when they found his body unresponsive, there was bruising under his eyes. So there was no bruising under his eyes in the photo or anything. So I think this right here, albeit it's not a big piece of evidence,
should be evidence.
The details surrounding his death are so secretive. This is about the only evidence we're probably going to get that Bob Saget was okay entering into this hotel room. Nothing happened to Bob Saget
like to
prior to him getting to this hotel.
From the time he got into the hotel to the time he was found dead.
This entire time.
If anyone came in and out or came by his hotel
room in the hotel room, because the judge announced that he is permanently blocking all of the details from the autopsy from coming out. And I already made a video about that, giving you my thoughts about that. And I just think that is extremely weird.
Yeah.
It's extremely shady. And seeing as literal hours before Bob Saget supposedly died from falling and hitting his head on a carpet, he looks perfectly fine. So we know that he took this trip over 2 hours to get to the hotel. He talked to this fan for a few minutes, took a photo with him, and then he went upstairs to his hotel room, supposedly talked to his wife. I think he maybe texted a few other people, and he posted one last post on social media. And that was the last that we will ever hear from Bob Saget. We will never get the details from his autopsy or from his death because they are all permanently blocked for some unapparent reason that we will never find out about. So all we can do is assume that Bob Saget was taken out. I don't care what anyone says. I don't think there's no convincing me at this point that he wasn't taken out. I was holding out. Now, of course, I stated a dozen times that I think that there was no possibility that Bob Saget injured himself on the way to the hotel. But I was holding out like maybe possibly something happened. You know, maybe something happened in the car along the way. But seeing this last photo of him and hearing that he was
coherent,
totally alert, and just totally normal, and everything was just normal. You know, that just kind of seals the deal for me. That something's, I just don't believe that
something fishy went down in that hotel
accidentally fell and hit his head and killed himself in the hotel room, especially looking at the injuries. I can't buy
I don't buy it either.
I can't buy that story. And seeing that he is just in perfect health, smiling, happy, and charming to his fans right before he passed away, it lets you know that nothing happened to him along the way there. It's just really weird to me.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me because...
Where are people trying to hide?
If I were the family, I would want people to be at ease with Bob Saget's death.
I'm not at ease with this.
Bob Saget is known the world over. Some people hate him, some people love him. Regardless of how you feel about him, though, I've noticed that people are curious about his death and the details surrounding his death. I see tons of people in my comment section that absolutely despise Bob Saget, but at the end of the day still want to know what really happened to him.
Exactly.
And even those people don't allow their disdain for Bob Saget to block their vision.
No one should be
not care about what's going on here, even making sense of this.
Dying such in a mysterious
and they don't
way
even
like
Bob
he did.
Saget. So I think that if I were the family, I would want people to
that
be
is young. He was
to know
a little bit older than my mother.
Because it's a very weird situation. And even, let's say it was an accident.
It was right around my mom's age.
So people will take their own slips and falls more seriously.
They shouldn't be dying. They should be dying like 70, 80, 90.
I will never hit my head the same way again. Never. A couple of nights ago, I hit my head on the headboard. It wasn't too hard, but I couldn't even sleep because I was like, man, I hope I don't get Bob Saget. Do I need to call 911? But then I was like, wait, Bob Saget didn't die from getting his head hit in the headboard. He obviously got assassinated by the Illuminati. I'm just joking. I'm just joking
come on,
about that.
Tell me it's not weird, dude.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot to learn from this case. And if there's nothing shady here, then why not just hammer that home? Let the details come out. No one's asking for the photos of Bob Saget.
Exactly. We don't want to see the photos. We just want the case to be open and to make sure that he gets investigated right.
Why did you block him in the first place? Because that just made everything look worse.
Exactly.
Because as soon as people started asking questions, it's like, oh, we got to block all of these details from coming out. And that, you're just setting yourself up for failure. If you don't want people getting into your business and stuff, they shouldn't just let everything happen naturally.
Exactly.
I guarantee you that people wouldn't be as curious about this case and as invested in this case if they weren't so shady about releasing that information.
Yeah.
If everything just happened naturally, people would be over it by now. And even if something shady did happen, half the people are already, distracted by other things and they wouldn't care. It's the fact that y'all started, y'all
things up
by like blocking the details from coming out. And by saying that, oh, he fell and he must have hit his head on the headboard. And then we had to come to, find out that, damn, the headboard's padded. And then, it was just
headboard
so
was padded.
That
how did he hurt his head on the headboard then? The headboard was
padded. They want to be secretive and they don't want details to get out and they just want their privacy. If anything, they ruined their privacy by making things so secretive. Because if things were secretive, if there wasn't a block on these records, it would have come out, people would have looked through it, and it would have been over by now. People wouldn't even worry about it anymore. But because they made it so secretive, they ring the alarm to make people start
bing, 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 bing,
questioning
bing. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Yeah.
Because when you're not transparent, people are going to start asking questions, especially in this day and age when there's so much shady shit going on. People are definitely going to start asking questions. So I think they set themselves up for failure in many ways. But at the very least, all of us now know, I think this photo and from what this guy said about his conversation with Bob Saget, that just deads any possibility. Any possibility. I know most of us didn't believe that something happened along this, on the trip from Jacksonville to Orlando, but I think this kills any possibility of any of that being possibly true. And now we're definitely zoned in on this happened at the hotel room. This happened at the hotel room, 100% fact.
100% fact.
And, we don't even have to be putting these pieces together if they were just
why do we, the fans and the internet, do the jobs of the cops?
The final report from his death came out. It's not the final entire autopsy.
Why ain't the cops doing the job?
Bogus BS, but I will break it down. I will react to all of that in one of my next videos. But for now, I want to hear your thoughts about this. What do you think about this last photo? Do you think this is a key indicator that Bob Saget was okay until he made it to this hotel? Let me know your thoughts about all of that down in the comments below.
I mean, just something about that case, just in my opinion, doesn't look true. But I will be back because I gotta feed the fish. My fishy babies downstairs. Just give me, damn it, 5 minutes. In the meantime, look at my green leprechaun hat. There. Hat. There you go. Sorry about making you guys wait. And I'll tell you, yeah, in the industry, well, screw you. And they don't like you. I've been saying this for years. Those guys saying what I've been saying for years.
All right, I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to tell you right now, it does not have a happy ending. And this story is called The Biggest Music Industry Screw Job Ever. Newsflash, there's a lot of independent artists who don't like me, but I hope you guys can see past the hate boner that you have for me and see how valuable this is and how important it is to independent artists. And you know what? It's not just independent artists. It's major label artists too. Look what Kanye West just did. Kanye just completely bailed on the music industry and released his new album on an MP3 player. What Kanye's just now doing with his album on his MP3 player is what I've been doing with physical CDs for 4 years. Completely cutting out the music industry, being a disruptor. Anyway, I just had to say that. I've been screwed the industry before Kanye was. And we sold more physical copies of the Brave album than Kanye did of the STEM player, but whatever. Who's counting, right? I'll tell you exactly who's counting. Not the data collection company that reports the numbers to Billboard. Okay, here we go.
Exactly.
Despite our best efforts, unlike everybody else, the physical copies of our new album, The Brave, will not be counted towards the Billboard charts. Now, it's important that you know that this is not a problem directly with Billboard. Billboard's always been really cool to us, actually. But here's something y'all probably didn't know. Billboard does not collect their own data for the Billboard charts. There's a data collection company that counts all of the downloads, the streams, the views, and the data collection company takes those numbers, gives them to Billboard, and Billboard makes their charts. My issue is with the data collection company. So over a period of 2 weeks, we exchanged 43 emails with this data collection company. And despite us being ready, willing, and able to give them all of the information that they wanted, they essentially just didn't believe us about our physical album sales. So we got excluded from the charts. Now, you guys aren't going to believe this, trust me. I'll start from the beginning. I've never done a digital album before, and Adam has only done digital albums. So we compromised and decided to do both. And when I brought this idea to Nova, she realized that this would be the perfect time for us to report our physical sales to Billboard for the first time. And after a little research, we realized that if we combined our digital sales with our physical sales, it would practically guarantee us the #1 spot on the album charts on Billboard independently. Look, we all got really excited. We honestly couldn't believe it, but numbers don't lie. And we realized that we had an opportunity to deal a massive blow to the music industry by outperforming major label artists on a chart that was specifically designed for them. Okay? So we rescheduled our entire release around this idea. We were going to drop our digital album and our physical album at the same time, so all of the numbers would be accounted for simultaneously, and we topped the chart independently. But little did we know what was up ahead. Step 1, Nova starts reaching out to the data collection company to get us set up as reporters so that they can account for our numbers. Now, there's this massive list of different rules and regulations that you have to abide by if you want them to count your physical sales. So we make sure we got the most up-to-date rules and regulations. We read all of them and we follow them. I mean, look at the back of your Brave CD. You see this little UPC code? It's not on any of my other albums. It's only there because it's one of their requirements. Anyway, because of the strict rules surrounding albums and merch packs and what you can bundle together and how it has to be packaged and blah, 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 we initially decided to not do merch packs, and we decided to save our silver and gold album covers for a different project down the line. We made all the sacrifices that we were required to make to have our physical albums accounted for on the Billboard charts, as per their own guidelines. Fine. No problem. We clarify with them that we're taking the right steps. They confirm that we are, and we move forward. All systems go. Now, this is where things entirely fall apart. To keep this video short, not 3 hours long, I'm not going to read you all 43 emails. I'll show you the pieces of the emails that are most important, and I'll do my absolute best to give you an accurate Reader's Digest of this entire scenario. Look, I'm going to give you as much context as humanly possible, and I'm going to be 100% transparent about all of this. Let's dive into these emails. And let me add, I had to constantly follow up with these people on a daily basis to get any response at all. And when they did respond, I'd get like 1 or 2 lines of text. Many times just offhandedly dismissing us or completely failing to acknowledge any of our questions or concerns. To register as a reporter, they essentially want to vet your website. They want to know what kind of sales you've done in the past year and what kind of sales you expect to be reporting with this upcoming release. So we answer the question with how many albums we sold last year, how many we expect to sell this year, and we give them screenshots of everything that we've done for the past 12 months. We also ask what the reporting process is like and how sales are actually reported. Because our album released in a month at that point, and we had to be diligent about getting this done in a timely fashion. They told us, and I quote, "We have plenty of time to get you set up for reporting since the release is not until next month. I'm still not done with the website vetting, but we will get back to you when that is complete. Also, please only include direct-to-consumer from the website and leave out any other sales from vendors/providers." So we send more screenshots from the back end of our website that shows the total sales from last year. We also tell them that we do not work with any vendors or providers. We do everything ourselves, completely independently. So everything is from our hands to their hands. hands. 2 days later, they finally respond with this. I'm not certain of the album sales you have quoted to us, as they are not meeting what we would expect based on the data we have from major providers at this time, including sales and streaming. Can you provide the name of your distributor? We distribute independently through TuneCore. So we tell them that. We also tell them that if they're trying to authenticate physical sales through data acquired from digital platforms, they're going to get a very distorted picture of what's actually going on here. I explained that only a very small percentage of my music goes to these digital streaming platforms. The only songs that go to these digital streaming platforms are the songs that I release on YouTube with music videos. I explained that I release 2 or 3 physical albums every year. I explained that that's around 50 songs. I explained that only a very small number of those 50 physical songs ever end up digitally available on the internet. So how could the digital data reflect my physical sales when the digital data only represents a very small portion of my physical music? I'll answer that question. It can't. And since we feel like they just called us liars, we offer them back-end access to our store so that they can verify the numbers themselves directly. We would completely remove ourselves from the situation so that they can see what we can see, so that there's no chance the numbers could be defrauded or tampered with in any way. I just gotta say, that is unprecedented access and transparency. It's actually very dangerous for us to be even giving out that kind of access. But we wanted to be on the Billboard charts. We wanted to play with the big boys. We wanted to prove to the world that independent artists are just as impactful, just as powerful, and just as worthy of industry recognition as the major label artists are.
Exactly,
So at this
and there's
point,
many
since we feel
people
like
on
they just called
YouTube
us liars,
that
we
need
start
to be on the
seeing
Billboard
anyone that
charts.
we work with in any capacity who could possibly help verify these numbers to the data collection company. We ended up having like 4 or 5 people on this email thread. One of them being my friend and the owner of the warehouse who has manufactured my CDs from the very beginning of my career. He sees every single order that comes in. He's actually the guy that sends you guys your t-shirts. He replies in this email thread, and I quote, "I can verify and prove all of the information provided below. Let me know how I can assist." No reply. Our other industry friends start questioning them at this point. They start asking the data collection company, do you guys even have a mechanism or a process to account for a truly independent artist's numbers? Does that even exist? They inform us that they do in fact have the process in place. We ask what that process is. They refuse to give us the information, but they tell us that they'd be happy to once their questions about my past sales have been answered. We tell them that we're unsure of what questions they're asking. They ask us to confirm the number of physical albums that were officially accepted by a publishing company. Our friend explains in the email that Nova and I, independently, totally on our own, distribute our physical sales to the people. There is no publishing company accounting for physical sales. They still don't get it. They miserably fail to understand that our business is truly independent. So we once again explain how our business model works. A grassroots operation, totally outside of the music industry. We explain that we've packed over 200,000 albums with our own hands. We send pictures of us over the years packing albums, labeling albums, and dropping them off at the post office. We tell them that if the numbers seem unbelievable, it's because they are unbelievable. I get it. It is unbelievable that a kid and his girlfriend have managed to do something as large as we're doing it, completely independent of the music industry. I get it. It's unbelievable. But you're a data collection company, and we're giving you the proof, so believe it, because it's true. We again explain that the information she wants is the information we have and us alone. And we're trying to give it to her. We're trying to give it to her. At this point, I've had absolutely enough. Nova has been the person emailing back and forth with them, and I've just been kind of watching from a distance. Now, Nova wants this so bad for us that it's literally all that she's thinking about. She's waiting at her computer all day, just hoping that she's going to get a reply from them. And then when their offices close at 8 p.m., she just goes to bed, totally defeated. I saw a lot of tears that week, a lot of them. And with both of us feeling super frustrated and totally defeated, I would finally step in. When I start personally sending emails, it gets ugly. Here's how that
Exactly.
I informed the data collection company that I have a massive 6-week campaign for the Brave album, complete with promotional materials, music videos, marketing, blah, 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 blah. A plan that it took me weeks to come up with, I might add. A plan that I annoyed the hell out of Adam with because I was insistent that it had to go exactly the way that I wanted it to go. Anyway, I tell them that I'm going to have to reconfigure this entire 6-week plan if I can't get a clear answer from them on if we can record our physical albums or how we do it or what the hell's going on. Sidebar, you got to understand, this whole mess is ultimately why we ended up moving the digital release from February 18th to March 4th. You guys remember when that happened? We had to order a ton more CDs. We had to scramble to create merch packs that we weren't initially going to do because we weren't allowed to bundle merch with albums according to their guidelines. We had to go into overdrive and try and salvage a 6-week campaign. That got screwed up because we were waiting for them to accept our numbers. Anyways, I tell these guys that I need a clear answer so I can move forward. No response to that email. I follow up again, and they reply to me, and I quote, "Hi, Tom and all. I've been reviewing the site, the data we have from streaming for past releases, socials, and comparable sales from similar genres during this vetting period. It doesn't support the sales you have quoted earlier in this thread. Did any of these sales happen to be null orders out to fan clubs, other retailers, etc.? I'm still trying to understand the provided data to explain the abnormally high numbers before we can allow you to report." Again, in my eyes, telling us that they don't believe us. So I immediately respond with a nuclear bomb of an email. And it goes like this. "You continually ask the same questions. We continually answer them. We have been painfully transparent with you, and still you make absolutely no movement. If you won't sign into the back end of our store, which we've offered you access to verify the sales yourself, and you won't take the endorsement from anyone else that's involved in our very small and obviously extremely successful business, it seems as though there's nothing else we can do here. Your job is to collect and report data to Billboard, a chart that I would assume takes pride in presenting an accurate portrayal of the sales landscape in regards to the music business. And for some reason, you are preventing adequate data collection and accurate reporting. If you can't figure out how to verify a truly independent artist's sales, go talk to someone who does. If you don't have the mechanism, you should all be embarrassed of yourselves. I've likened this entire situation to waiting outside a treehouse while you block the door. You are preventing us from hanging out with the cool kids for a reason that you can't seem to provide. We're asking you what we can possibly do to get in, and you can't seem to articulate a conclusive answer. We just keep running in circles. Please help, or put us in contact with someone who can. Your unwillingness to make any progress has gone on long enough and already forced me to adjust an extremely important release campaign multiple times. Every song I release hits #1 on iTunes. Most of them hit #1 on multiple Billboard charts. My YouTube, where I post my music videos, has 3 million subscribers. I have music videos with 30 million actual views. I've been on Fox News and an endless amount of other acclaimed platforms. What part of this is unbelievable to you? I shouldn't have to explain independent musicianship and the marketing thereof to someone who's apparently responsible for collecting the results of said marketing. Figure it out. It would be great to get a prompt response. Tom. I hit send. Ready for it to get even crazier?
Yeah.
I would never hear back from that email. One of my music industry friends who's CC'd on the email senses my frustration, and he decides to weigh in and try and help out. He adds, just to help if possible, Tom's videos released on YouTube have gathered over 100 million views in 2021 alone. We help collect the publishing income generated from those views, and we can confirm over 100 million views from his videos in 2021 alone. They didn't respond to that email either. I followed up for the next 2 days. No responses. This is almost 50 emails in a 2-week span and absolutely no progress at all. I follow up multiple times. Nothing. I find out who the higher ups are. I email them. Nothing. I follow up. Nothing. Then I find out that me and Nova have been removed from this email thread entirely. My friend tells us that he's received an email from someone within the data collection company. We were told that they were trying to set up a phone call and that we were to have no further communication with the people that we had been dealing with previously. According to this new person, all further communications were to go through him. So my friend and the data company set up a time to get on the phone and talk about it. And they didn't ever answer that call. And we called more than once. Like, do you guys see what is happening here? Our physical album sales, combined with our digital album sales, would have practically guaranteed us a #1 spot on the Billboard album charts, independently. Now look, I know a lot of independent artists out there, they don't like me. And that's fine, I don't need more friends. But look past that. It's not just my album. It's not just my career. It's your albums. It's your careers. It's your blood, sweat, tears, time, energy, and money that they are refusing to acknowledge on the industry charts. Look, all musicians, whether you want to admit it or not, we all at some point in time have used the Billboard charts as a measuring stick for our own personal successes.
Exactly.
It's the most acclaimed music chart in the entire world. And it's supposed to represent all of us accurately. It's supposed to be reliable. But if the data collection companies, in regards to independent artists, aren't competent in their collection and delivery of data, what do the charts even mean? Having your creation on the Billboard charts carries a degree of prestige with it. And I personally don't think it's appropriate to have the integrity of the charts in the hands of a data collection company who won't even tell an independent artist how to prove their sales are legitimate and our numbers are worthy of competing in the mainstream arena. Musicians, show this to your friends. Show this to your family. Show this to other musicians. Shining a light on these things could force a total overhaul within the industry of how they deal with independent artists in regards to charting. In general, the music industry is archaic, inefficient, and unfair.
Exactly.
And it's about damn time it got renovated. If you're a musician, I know you care about your art. If you're a fan, I know you care about your favorite artist. Stand up for them. Stand up for yourselves. You know, it's not just like a clever catchphrase. It truly is us against them. And we might never win the fight, but I'm damn sure showing up for it. Our new album, The Brave, is out now. And the only way that we're going to be able to compete with these guys, because they've excluded our physical copies, is if you guys go to iTunes or go to Amazon and download the digital copy of our new album, The Brave. We need everybody to take action. This is like a tiny snowball rolling down the hill right now. And if we all take action, we could turn that snowball into a frickin' avalanche. And look, this is the absolute last time I'm doing things this way. But I'll tell you this much, I'm going to leave a hell of a mark on my way out. I love y'all so much. As always, screw the music industry. It's Hangover Gang forever. I love y'all. Peace.
And here's part 2.
Part 2 of the biggest industry screw job ever. Now, I've got good news, I've got shocking news, and I've got bad news. Here's a quick recap. Unlike everybody else, the physical copies of our new album, The Brave, will not be counted towards the Billboard charts. The good news is we are #1 independently on 8 different Billboard charts with our new album, The Brave. And that doesn't even include solo artist charts. That's just album charts. It's pretty crazy. Billboard even wrote an article about how incredible we did. So first and foremost, thank you. This is an incredible feat to accomplish for any artist, even major label artists. And we did it independently. And when I say we, I mean me and Adam and Nova and all of you guys. The 8 #1s you see on the charts right now only exist solely because of you. I pointed out what I felt like were injustices. I let you guys know that I felt like we weren't being given a fair shake, and all of you rallied with me. This is literally what raging against the machine can accomplish. The most valuable tool of change is one very simple thing: information. I gave you all the information I had about how they were doing us dirty and screwing us on these charts. And let me be very clear, we did not get the change that we were after, but we made a massive impact. And speaking of powerful information, I have more for you. Let's get into the bad and shocking news, shall we? First of all, y'all remember that data collection company we were talking about? The one who reports all of our downloads, streams, and views to Billboard? The one who refused to count our physical albums towards these charts? Well, that data company and Billboard are both owned by the same global media company. I just found that out, which explains why Billboard took zero action when we reported to them that the data collection company was refusing to count our physical sales. We just gotta suck it up and move on. And like I said in my last video, I don't really have a problem with Billboard. Billboard's always treated us really good, but I'd be lying if I said when I found out that they were a part of a massively dysfunctional system that it wasn't extremely frustrating and disheartening. Billboard, I am hella disappointed in you. Anyway, let's get into the specifics about the charts that were released today. Remember that article I talked about that Billboard released about how incredibly successful our new album was? Check this out. It says, and I quote, Tom MacDonald and Adam Calhoun's The Brave bows at #1 on Billboard's top album sales charts, selling 16,000 copies in the US in the week ending March 10th, according to the data collection company. Now, note that they are only referencing digital copies when they're talking about these 16,000 units. It goes on to say this. Elsewhere in the top 10 of top album sales, Dolly Parton's new Run Rose Run starts at #2. One Direction's former #1, 4, re-enters at #3 after a new vinyl release. Now, further down in the article, they reference Dolly Parton and One Direction again. Also, shout out to Dolly Parton. She is a badass and a legend. And my girlfriend Nova loves Nick Jonas, so shout out to One Direction too. Or did Nick Jonas in the Jonas? Whatever, who cares? Anyway, and I quote, of Run Run Rose's 15,500 copies sold, physical sales comprise of 11,500 and digital sales comprise of 4,000. One Direction, who Nick Jonas is not in, One Direction's former #1, 4, returns to top album sales, re-entering at #3 after a new red vinyl pressing was released exclusively via Urban Outfitters. In total, in the week ending March 10th, 4 sold 9,000 copies, nearly all from vinyl sales. So they're counting Dolly Parton's physical CD sales, and they're counting One Direction's vinyl sales, but they're refusing to count mine and Adam Calhoun's physical CD sales for The Brave? Real freaking cool, guys. Real cool. Now, you might be wondering, Tom, I get it. They wouldn't count your physical CDs, and that's a pain in the butt. But how big of a difference would that really make? Aha! Let me tell you exactly how big of a difference that would make. At the beginning of this video, I told you about the 8 #1s that our new album, The Brave, had racked up. However, there are 2 very important charts that I did not mention. The Billboard Top 200 album chart and the Billboard Independent Albums chart. Let's get into how we did on those charts, shall we? First, let's look at the Billboard Top 200 charts. Easily the most prestigious of all Billboard album charts. Our new album, The Brave, charted at 14. Had our physical albums been accounted for, we would have landed at #2, with less than 2,000 units separating us from the #1 spot on the most prestigious Billboard album chart in existence. That's a difference of 12 very important spots. And that's a big friggin' deal, dude. Furthermore, we had planned to release our physical albums and our digital albums on the same day weeks ago. But because of our extremely long, frustrating, and ultimately pointless conversation with the data collection company, we were forced to change an entire 6-week campaign and release our digital albums and physical albums on different dates. Now, this is the craziest part to me. Let's take a look at the Billboard Independent Album charts. Our new album, The Brave, charted at #4. You might be wondering, how is the biggest independent album with 8 #1s 4th on the independent album charts? Well, I'll tell you. But first, you have to understand how Billboard defines independent. And I quote, though not clearly defined, an independent record label is generally considered to be any label that is not part of the big 3 record companies, which consist of Sony Music Entertainment, Warner Music Group, and Universal Music Group. Okay. Billboard cites the following definition for use on their top independent albums charts. For Billboard charting purposes, defining an independent album is done on a title level and based on its distribution. Okay. If an album is sold by an independent distributor or one of the major labels' independent distribution arms, it is classified as an independent title and can chart on our top independent albums tally. What? Note that this definition does not exclude record labels owned by other large corporations from being classified as independent. Okay, buddy, you can't make this stuff up. You could not write this if you tried. I mean, apparently they did try and they wrote it, and there it is, and it's horse hockey. So to top the independent albums charts, you don't even have to be independent. You know, this whole thing is wrapped up in so much bureaucracy and BS and parent companies and conglomerates and monopolies and blah, blah, blah. It's like, can we just admit at this point that the game is rigged? Major labels and mainstream artists have the entire industry on lock. Can't you just give the independent awards to the truly independent artists? This is the independent albums charts. You can do your own research on the chart, but in my mind, you don't have to look any further than #1, Encanto, distributed by Disney. Disney's independent? Seriously? Walt Disney? Disney's net worth is $97 billion. They have their own streaming channel on Apple TV. They're one of the most renowned household names on planet Earth. And you're telling me that it's appropriate that Walt Disney competes with us on the same charts? So your answer is, our new album, The Brave, is number 4 on the independent album charts because in no way, shape, or form do these charts accurately represent truly independent artists. The independent artists who write their own music, produce their own music, release their own music, invest all of their time, money, and energy into the success of their own music without any help from any record label of any kind, and no 97 billion Disney dollars either. So don't get me wrong, these 8 number ones are extremely cool. It's a demonstration of how powerful people are when they're up against the machine. But as cool as these 8 number ones may be, they are not the Billboard Top 200. And to go number 1 or number 2 or even top 5 on the Billboard Top 200 can have a real major positive impact on an independent artist's career. These 8 number ones are the industry's way of acknowledging the absolute bare minimum and expecting us to dance around our living rooms in celebration. Look, I'm not being ungrateful, but looking at something from the outside in doesn't always give you an accurate picture of the situation. You can use this quote across the many varied situations that you'll encounter in life. If we celebrate the crumbs, then it is crumbs that we are given. So instead of celebrating, I will just say that I am extremely proud of all of us rising to the occasion together. I will say that I am incredibly thankful for each and every single one of you who joined me in this charge against the mainstream music industry. I will say that I will forever cherish these accolades and look back at this situation as a massive success. But I will not celebrate a small victory when we were screwed out of the opportunity to win the war. So the fight continues for all independent musicians everywhere. And the fight will continue until we're given the same appreciation, respect, and acknowledgement that all of the major label artists are given by the powers that be who have deemed them worthy. The music industry has once again found a way to screw the little guy. But that's not a reason to stop. It's a reason to go. One way or another, there will be a positive revolution within the music industry in regards to independent artists. Exactly. And we'll be able to look back on these videos and this situation and this point in time, and we'll be able to say, hey, I was integral in that. We were the torchbearers that started that revolution. No matter how many losses it takes to get there, we're part of history. Congratulations to everybody out there on these 8 number ones. It's an incredible achievement. I love you all. Thank you once again. It's Hangover Gang forever. Peace.
I'm subscribing to him, man. Let's hear the one song that made him popular.
They separate us from our neighbors and they call it social distancing. It's actually a bigger plan. It's called social conditioning. They took away our privacy. There's always someone listening. The election's planning riots for the citizens. The government has always lied. It's history repeating. But the problem is the schools throw you down so you believe them. If you try to speak the truth inside a tweet, then they delete it. Whole administration Satanists who claim they praise in Jesus. Every year there's a new name for enemies that we're facing. It's Al-Qaeda, then ISIS, and now American patriots. Who would have thought those who love the country the most will be hated on by folks who call America home? Both political parties are equally just as evil. They've been working for themselves, don't give a damn about the people. Black, white, yellow, brown, humanity needs you. Cause united we stand, divided they will defeat you. The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they're lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust. Y'all missing what was written in them pages. That was history they wrote, now you want to change it. You racist, you hate this. Why you want us all to be locked up in cages? I can't stand the left, everything they say is depressing. Ship them to the Middle East, they can learn oppression. Believe me, I mean this quite literal. I love liberty, but liberals wear a mask, stay home, complain and moan. Talk about privilege on your phone in your Range Rover, Starbucks, mango, foo, whatever. The cloth I'm cut from can handle any weather. You just paper in the rain, we ain't the same. Stand for the flag, only I pray. I just pray we back to the old days, land of the free, home of the brave. Man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they're lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust. Yeah. I see through all the illusions, refuse to hear rumors or accept that we're losing. Easy to get caught up, consumed by the consumer. Truth is so diluted, people starve off the confusion. Confidence the killer, your dreams execution. Cruel persecution if I make contribution. Home of the brave look like a mental institution, and there will be revolution if we can't find resolution. And if threat is a promise, stand up, pay homage. They tell lies and being honest, since the time is upon us. I know that God got us, so I'm fighting in his honor. Hear the cries of the crusaders as we strapping up our armor. Each set's at a higher ground and drowning they drama. If I die for what I love, then my death will be nirvana. We fighting for our freedom, don't believe what they defeating. Be the change you want to see, the warrior that we're needing. Man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they're lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust. We don't trust the news, the government, or pharma. We just want freedom, yeah, you have that to offer. We don't want the lies, the politics, or the drama. We just want the life that was promised by our fathers. We don't trust the news, the government, or pharma. We just want freedom, yeah, you have that to offer. We don't want the lies, the politics, or the drama. We just want the life that was promised by our fathers. The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they're lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust.
I mean, God, I love that video. I love that video. I'm like, wow. They're telling the truth of what's going on out there. I mean, God.